what can we store in a MongoDB document? A MongoDB document supports different types of data and data structures, and that's what we are going to do today. We'll see different types of data such as integers, strings, arrays, objects. How can we have all those different data types in our document? So let's start our Mongo shell. I'm using a Mac, but the same commands are going to work on Windows machine. Show DBS, and we are going to add our new collection to this first database. We're going to create a couple of documents that are going to have a bunch of different data types. We'll talk about what kind of data we are adding, and then we'll add those documents to a collection, and we'll see how that looks like within MongoDB. So let's start our first document. I'll say doc1. Now within the document, I want to add a title. And let's say we are creating a database of clothing items. Now, if you want a string data type, so title, so let's call it white jacket. Then you could also have some description. So description, this is also going to be a string. Then say you want to add the price of this clothing item, and the price is going to be an integer. So for integers, you don't really need quotes, so you can just write, say, $80, comma, and then so you want to add the star ratings for these clothing items. From the previous buyers who have bought this shirt, they are adding some star ratings. And this star rating, this can be an array of integers. So these are the different ratings from previous buyers. Then let's create some more complicated data structures. Now we are going to add an array of objects. And this can be, say, comments from buyers, and the comments are going to have different fields to it. So comments, colon can be like an equivalent to equal, so comments, and within comments is going to be an array of objects. Now, say each comment, it has a couple of fields. First, say I want to know whether they recommend this particular clothing item. And if it is 1, that means they recommend it. If it is 0, so not recommended. So that's the first entry within that object. And say you want to add that actual comment within it. So I'm going to call it review. And this can be a string. So now you can see we have one object starting from here. So we have 2 entries within it, recommend, and then the actual review. And this is the end of the first object. We can add another object within this. So for the same document, we could have multiple comments, right? So that's what we are doing now. So let's add another one. So within the comments array, we have 2 objects, and these are the 2 objects. So this is an example of array of objects. You could actually have objects within objects, so that is also possible, kind of like you're storing a document within another document. Now let's add another type of data. So it could be, say, some tags or an array of strings. So these are the different strings within that array. Now we are done with creating the document. This should be good enough for now. So you can add a semicolon and press enter. And you can see it was successful. We got title, description, the price. This is the star ratings, comments, created one document. If you want to create another one, you could simply go back and modify some others. So I'm just going to keep this simple. So I don't want to create an entirely new document from scratch. So I'll call it doc2 and change this a little bit. So instead of white jacket, I'll say red shirt. And I'm going to keep most of the other fields just the same because this is an example. Now we have two documents. However, they are not part of any collections yet. So we have to add those documents to a collection. So let's do that. To add documents to a collection, we have done this before. The command is db dot the collection name. So I'll say new store. This is the new collection name. Again, MongoDB is very nice in this regard. If you don't have a collection in this name, it will create a new collection. So we don't have anything like that. So it's going to create a new collection and then insert one. You can add multiple documents at a time, but let's do one by one. Doc1. And you get acknowledged true. And we're going to add the second one, doc2. And done. So if we write show collections now, you can see we got this new store, the collection that we just created. If you want, you could check the documents within the collection name. So db new store dot find, keep this empty, it will bring us all those documents. Keeping this empty, find empty, we can see we got the two documents that we now have, and now these documents have their own ID. So they are officially inside that collection. That's all for this video. I hope you found it helpful. I'll catch you in the next one.